Welcome back to Daryl D TV, where we talk about all things funky. And on the menu today, it's all about the DJ. Not just the DJ, the turntablist DJ. That's what we're going to talk about today. You know, back in the mid to late 90s, a lot of DJs started coming out with their own singles, with their own albums. It would be anything from a battle record to scratching with some lyrics over it to entire albums that's full of turntablist songs on them. And I want to show you my top 10 DJ related albums of all time. Okay, now these aren't necessarily in any particular order. They're just 10 that I pulled out that I enjoy thoroughly. I own a ton of them, but I wanted to show you these 10 today on this show. Okay, so we're going to start off with the record that started it off for me. I don't know if this was the first DJ record I bought in terms of entire albums, but this one started it for me. Return of the DJ. This is volume 1. And I remember buying this album at a store in Atlanta called Stacks of Wax Stacks, I think it's called, over in Little Five Points. And I remember, wow, this was so impressive to me because it was just nothing but non-stop turntablism in tracks, excuse me. And then just look at that lineup of the people that are on there. Look at that lineup. Cut Chemist, DJ EQ, Mixmaster Mike, Z-Trip, the X-Man, DJ Ghetto, Rob Swift. This record is incredible. I would definitely recommend this one. You know what I mean? There's the label there. High up on my list. You get a little bit of everything on there. My favorite cut off of here was which one was it? DJ EQ, The Death of Hip Hop. Excellent song, real smoothed out, really nice, clean scratching on it. Great record, great record. Return of the DJ. This is volume 1. They reissued this one years after it came out with a picture sleeve, and they also have volume 2 and 3 now. But that's the first one I want to show you. Return of the DJ, volume 1. Now, the next one I want to show you is also a compilation, and this was one of the early compilations to come out as well. And this one is called Deep Concentration. Deep Concentration. Excellent, excellent compilation turntablist record on here. Check out the picture of Rock Raider on the back there. Really, really cool. And this one featured tracks by Cut Chemist, DJ Radar, a hometown hero here in Phoenix, Prince Paul, the X-Men, Babu, J-Rock, Peanut Butter Wolf. Just a great album. They got the whole gatefold action going on there. Beautiful record. Highly recommend it. Deep Concentration. I think they have a volume 2 of this one as well. So, yeah. Deep Concentration, y'all. Great record. Okay. Now, the next one I want to show you, we kind of go into the whole party rocking scene. And that's my favorite type of DJ. That's sort of a lot of how my style is. It's just rocking parties and making people dance and making people feel good. And this next record is one of the greats when it comes to rocking parties. And this is DJ Navs out of Atlanta. In the Lab with DJ Navs. This is live, the live album. And anybody from the South, especially the Atlanta area, knows about this guy. Huge. I remember standing in line at Club Kaya back in the 90s trying to get in there to see this guy get busy. And I just remember being in line with all types of other famous people. I think Usher was out there, and one of the Crisscross dudes was out there, and Falane Faluke from Gumbo was out there, and none of us could get in. So we were just, and it was a party outside of the party. That's how this guy gets down, like crazy superstar DJ. I definitely, if you're in a party rocking and just rocking the crowd and getting busy in front of big crowds of people, I definitely recommend this album. Live album in the lab with DJ Navs. Great album. Now, we're going to stay on that party tip just for a second. The next record is one of my favorite records to listen to of all time when it comes to party rocking DJs. This is no other than Funk Master Flex. 60 Minutes of Funk. This is volume 1. My favorite volume. 1 and 2 are excellent. 2 is just as good as number 1, but I think number 1 would be my favorite of the 2. 3, okay, and I think he has a 4th volume, which not for me. Anyway, but volume 1, this is where it's at. This is Funk Master Flex at his best. If you got to hear Funk Flex get busy back in the 90s, then you know how he gets down. This right here is classic Funk Master Flex in his element. Those who know a lot. This is one of the more popular DJ records, and so a lot of people know that. This was on Loud Records, so it had incredible distribution. So a lot of you guys are familiar with this, but this is definitely in my top 10 list of DJ records of all time. Next, we're going to go to one of my favorite turntablist guys. I call him the mad scientist of turntablism. This is the homie Rob Swift, and this was his album, The Ableist. Now, I'm a huge Rob Swift fan. As you can see he signed that for me. And I think this album was where he really let his creativity kind of take the forefront. There's a lot of different types of moods on here. He's got Spanish music on here. He's got like straight beats. He's got songs where the scratching is just defines the entire song. This is Rob Swift at its best. I highly recommend this album if you're into the artistic and creative side of turntablism and DJing. Rob Swift is your man. Everything he does I recommend, but this album is definitely high up on the list of those recommendations. Rob Swift from the X-Men crew. There you have it. Now, this next record, when this came out, a lot of people kind of lost it and they were waiting for this. It's one of the most anticipated, records out there. And this was none other than q-bert from the Scratch Pickles. And this was the Wave Twister album. This is a great record. q-bert obviously needs no introduction. I think this record is high up on my list because of the where is it? He did a song on here about brushing your teeth that has some crazy a word from Fresh Breath mouthwash. Real short little interlude type thing, but it was cool. But q-bert is q-bert. How he gets down. He's a nut job for real. So those who know. Check that out. DJ q-bert. Alright, we're going to do some more partying over here right now, right? Next up, we got DJ Scribbles. Fantastic record. Once again, party rocking at its best. DJ Scribbles, I first discovered him when he used to DJ for that rap group called the Young Black Teenagers. And I first saw him get busy. They performed on the Apollo. I don't know if that's on YouTube anywhere, but if you can find that video of the Young Black Teenagers on Apollo, DJ Scribbles does a routine with Rock the Bells, LL Cool J. He's going doubles and he's going nuts, and the place just loses it. It's one of the most incredible routines I've ever seen. But that's the first place I saw him get busy. Once I saw him on there, everything he did, I was like on it. So this one is a good one, and he's got like Karis One Step into a World, Mary J. Blige, Love Is All We Need. He's got Big Pun and Cuban Links on here. He's got Run from Run DMC doing a really dope track on here. Crew, Crooklyn Clan, LL, Lauryn Hill's on here, ODB, Craig Mack. This is a great album. Once again, we get the whole gatefold treatment on there. There's your lineup. Beautiful, beautiful record. Beautiful packaging. Double LP flavor on this. There he is. There's a little better picture of him. DJ Scribbles, y'all. Check that out. All right. Now we have a legend coming up. And this record is pretty rare and very sought after. This is none other than DJ Premier. And this is New York's Reality Check 101. See the haze joint up in the corner? Yeah, it's a little beat down, but that's because I play it a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is Premier doing Premier. Everybody, we all know Premier's tracks. You know, we all love Premier. This is Premier getting busy on the turntables, which maybe not a lot of you guys have seen out there. And what attracted me to this particular record is I always loved the J Live song, Bragging Rights. And he does Bragging Rights. He plays that on, he gets busy with that. There's sort of the lineup right there. And you can kind of see the flavor that Premier is bringing us. Pretty rare record. We get the triple action on this one. You know, Premier went there on that, didn't he? Whole New York City subway flavor. Great record. DJ Premier. New York Reality Check 101. Just Premier doing this Premier thing, man. If you haven't heard this, check it out. The vinyl, like I said, is kind of hard to find, but I'm sure you could find this mix online somewhere. I don't know where. I got the vinyl. I don't need to look for it. There you have it. Okay, for the second time on this list, we're going back to the mad scientist himself, DJ Rob Swift. This is a classic right here. This was his very first album / mixtape. This came on LP and it came on cassette. And this is Rob Swift getting busy. When I say this guy is a mad scientist, he's mad creative. He just goes there. It's very soothing. He takes you to these really incredible places. This is the record. If there was any record that I would recommend on this list so far, it would be this one. Soulful Fruit. He shares this with Sinister, Rock Raider, and Diamond J. They all make appearances on here. The standout track on here is he does this routine. It's a live performance that's on here with him and Rozelle. So he kind of Rozelle does Rob Swift does some turntablists, he does some scratching, and then Rozelle has to kind of mimic what Rob Swift is doing on the turntables. It's pretty cool. If you've ever heard any of the Rob Swift mixtapes, this is in that same flavor, that same creative realm of what you're used to hearing from Rob Swift. Now, this was the first one, so, but if you've heard any of the other ones before you've heard this one, then you know the flavor that I'm talking about. There's the back, some of the lineup on there. I got another copy of this that I got signed from Rob. Great record. Rob Swift, Soulful Fruit. When you get that, and you listen to it, you can thank me later. All right? All right, cool. Now we're down to the last one. This is number 10. This might be my favorite of the 10. This is from my favorite turntablist group and what I consider to be the greatest turntablist group in the world, and that is the X-Ecutioners, aka the X-Men. This is Expressions, and this record is incredible. It's one of the first turntablist records that ever came out. I had the pleasure of seeing them perform a lot of these songs live, and it's just incredible the creativity that they put into this record. The just four of them going at it all at the same time and creating these really super incredible sounding songs. I can't recommend this album enough. The X-Ecutioners, Expressions, get your hands on it. I think you can still find these for a very reasonable price. It's not, it's not a whole lot of money that you have to spend. So definitely pick this record up where you can. You can find them online. They're out there, and at the moment, they're not a whole lot of money. You can pick these up for pretty reasonable. So there you have it. My top 10 DJ turntablist records of all time. That's my top 10 right now. All of these are the earlier pressings. There was a ton of them. You had the, Craze and the Fifth Platoon, and you had DJ Swamp, and of course, all of the Rectangle records that came out. There was a ton of them, a ton of these turntable albums that came out. But these are my top 10. Why don't you tell me about some of your favorites in the comments? And I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll be back soon with another video. This is Daryl D signing off.